set yourself on fire. I never let you burn. I would smoke you till my lungs hurt and love you till I'm dirt. Hi guys, welcome back to the bedroom. We are currently going to be working on our storage, specifically our closet storage. So last episode you saw that I DIY'd or just made over a very simple IKEA dresser into something that fit more of my style. We gave it a coat of paint and some new hardware, and we're going to be moving that into the space and then going to start organizing our clothes in there. Once we have that organization, then we're going to start working on the closet, specifically my fiance's closet. So the closets in this room are very narrow. So they go in pretty deep-ish. Have a closet on either side of the wall, which is where our dresser currently resides. So it's a little bit deeper on this side and then shorter on this end. But it makes it very difficult because we have this one very basic traditional wire rod and it holds all of the hanging items. It is quite narrow on either side of this opening, so it's very difficult to see what clothes you have back here. So it's almost impossible to see really what is back there, and that's all the storage we have besides this one shelf up here. We put this wire shelving in here, however it's not very sturdy, and as you can see, one of the wires has already fallen off. Although had good intentions, has not been very helpful in keeping things stored. There's just a deeper hole back here of just shoes and clothes and everything that gets piled up. Since we have been on an organization kick, we've already took the step of going through our closet, going through our clothes, donating or giving away clothes that we don't wear or we haven't worn in a while or don't want anymore. So the closets have been dimmed down to our necessities and things that we want to keep. What we're gonna do is take all of the clothes out, take all of the baskets out and everything, and then I'll start going through my plan of what we want to do in the closet space. Have the closet all cleared out and it's looking just a little dingy. It needs a little bit of help. It needs some cleaning, some dusting, a fresh coat of paint to spruce it all up, but it's not too bad. Now what I'm going to do is remove these wire shelves, which is actually not very hard once you figure out the right way to do it. So first you remove this part. Now backtrack. First, you have to unscrew the little brackets that's kind of like attaching this to the wall. So let's do that. It's not that difficult to do, and then it took me a little while.
I ain't never been one to not follow the signs. You're looking like a one-way. Gotta make the right choice. Hope I make the right choice. Hoping that you like.
Now I'm filling the holes with spackle, and these holes are kind of deep, so I'm probably gonna have to do a few layers of this.
Either way, your eyes the ones I'm looking to when I'm hell first, falling from heaven, baby. Living on the prayer that you catch chance.
So I'm going to need to do a couple coats of that spackle, but in the meantime, I'm going to take some measurements so that I can go to Lowe's, pick up some wood pieces to make the shelves.
To determine how high I want the shelves to be, I kind of just hang up the clothes and eyeball it a little bit. So I know that I want to do 2 clothing rods on this side. So I kind of just hold it up there, eyeball where I think I want it to go. I'll make a mark up here with like a little scratch. That's where I put it. That's pretty much what I did for my closet. I kind of just eyeballed it and saw how far I could reach to get an idea of spacing, and then, you know, just put it up there and go for it.
If you set yourself up.
Okay, now I want to check to see if it actually fits. It's a little snug, like, so I could go maybe like 1/16 off. So I have my cut list, and now I'm gonna start cutting out the rest of the pieces. Should go by pretty fast because they're pretty much the same.
What I do know is I'll never let you go. When my world is falling apart, you're always there first. When I felt like I could give up, you showed me my way. I'd follow you into the desert, and if worst came.
Now we are going to move on to cutting the shelves. So I got 1x12 by 48-inch MDFs, and I got MDF because it's relatively smooth. It is on the cheaper side, and it's something that's commonly used in closets anyway, so I thought that that would work the best. So I initially was going to have my shelves be 12 inches, which I'm still debating. So I was just going to attach a 1x3 to these using pocket screws, and that will just make it the 15-inch depth that I need. But I'm gonna cut it down and play it by ear. I want to put it in there just to see how it looks, and then I can kind of wrap my head around it.
I always thought I'd follow your monsters, yeah, I would break the curse. I'm not sure how this goes. What I do know is I'll never let you go. When my world is falling apart, you're always there first. When I felt like I could give up, you showed me my worth.
Now I'm going to actually put together the top shelf with the pocket screws, as well as the additional 3 inches that I'm adding to each shelf. So I have my pocket hole jig maker, the drill bit that comes with it, and then I'm just gonna put pocket holes in the ends of the largest shelf, and then on each of the additional 3 inches that I'm putting on there.
When my world is falling apart, you're always there first. When I felt like I could give up, you showed me my.
And it just makes little holes like that so that the screws can kind of sink in at an angle when you're conjoining things. So I've done a dry fit of the top shelf and everything looks pretty good. I did a dry fit of the braces earlier. I dry fit the long rod that's going across here. So everything is looking pretty good to go. Now I can just start assembling everything. So I'm gonna start by putting on the long back rod, making sure that it's level. Then I'll put on one of the side rails and attach the pieces to the shelf together, put the shelf in there, and then put on the last brace, because I think the closet is too tight for me to be able to put on all 3 braces. So I'm gonna do that way, and then once I have that top shelf in, I'll work my way down, putting in everything else. I'm now gonna attach the shelves to the wall using these star screws, which are really great. They're screws that you don't have to pre-drill a hole in, which is great. It's gonna help save me some time. They also are non-stripping, so like your wood doesn't break. Also marked on my board where the studs are and where the middle is, so the middle is where I'll screwing in the screws. I went ahead and drilled the screws in where I'm going to drill it into the wall. That way I don't have to worry about the screws dropping, because I'm notorious for that happening.
What I do know is I'll never let you go. When my world is falling apart, you're always there first. When I felt like I could give up, you showed me my worth.
So I just put up the top shelf with one of the sides, and I honestly think that it's too deep. Like, I think I should have went with my first instinct, my gut that was telling me to do 12 inches, because I just feel like it's not going to be very useful. You're not going to be able to see what is back there because it's just too deep. And on top of that, it's extremely high. So another reason why you're probably not going to be able to see what's up there. Okay, I marked off on each of the brackets where the stud was. So there's not that many studs on the side walls, so I'm going to have to use drywall anchors, which is fine. When I'm drilling the pilot hole in the wall, I can just put this on the wall and drill right through there. I'll kind of show you, it's better shown than explained. That way I can have the placement on there exactly. So I got these closet rods. Here's one side and here is the other, so the rod just slips right in there, and it already has a hole for the center. So what I did is I tried to see if there was like a stud where I could put this in and screw it in, and it looks like the overall depth of how much space you need from the wall for your clothes is about 12 inches. I measured the shelf that was in there before, and then I kind of hung up the clothes just to kind of give an idea, and 12 inches seemed to be a good spot. There was one side of the wall that had an anchor at 11 and 7/8 inches, so I'm just gonna do that, the center of each at 11 and 7/8 inches on both sides, and then just keep it at that. So yeah.
If you set yourself on fire, I never let you burn. I would smoke you till my lungs hurt and love you till I'm dead.
I can explain. The last system and the last shelf that I had was just giving me so much trouble. Like, when I made it, I didn't realize that the walls were wonky and not leveled and just not square, different measurements. And when I did the, I guess, kind of U-shaped shelf, I was thinking like maximizing the amount of space up there like I did in my closet, but that definitely gave me a lot of trouble putting up that shelf. And I want to do better with my build and not just do some makeshift thing, and I want to do better about upping my quality. And so I just went with my gut and got a whole completely new piece of wood cut down. It's still MDF, it's prime, and it's just gonna be one shelf at the top, like normal or regular. And if I feel the need to add that extra shelf on each side, I will do so, but I think that this will work. It's like traditional shelves in regular closets, so I just think that it will work the best. So let's install this.
It's falling apart, you're always there first. When I felt like I
sturdy. It is a new day. I kind of had to pivot from my initial plan. What I wanted to do was have the curtain rods actually sit on a 1x3. And I just think that it kind of looks a little bit cleaner, a little bit nicer. But what I didn't consider was the distance between the curtain rod and the top shelf. So I put the clothes on there as a tester, and I realized that when I tried to take the clothes off, where they were underneath the shelf, it kind of hit it and there wasn't enough clearance. In order for there to be enough, I would have to move the rod or the holder down, at least giving it 2 inches of clearance. And the 1x3 is only 2.5, so there really wasn't that much space on the 1x3 to do that. So my plan was to either cut down little small blocks of 1x3 and put it right underneath the 1x3 shelf, and that would be where the curtain rod or the clothes rod would go. Or I could cut down a completely new shelf of 1x3 or 1x2, put it underneath so that it could still be on top of a 1x3 or a board rather than the wall. Other option would be just to attach it to the wall, and I decided to just attach it to the wall. So although I don't think that looks as clean, that does match what my closet looks like, and it's just the easiest route for me at this point. So I think it still looks fine. It just wasn't what I was planning to do. So that's totally fine. I moved those rods, and then now I'm going to attach the second rod at the bottom. Now that I have that moved down, I can measure my distance.
Problems one by one, they're falling down on me.
I have this wall which only has 1 rod. There's extra space down here, which is where I was planning on putting 3 shelves. So I'm going to start measuring how I want to place them in a distance that I want. So my idea was to use this space for hoodies and just bigger clothing items. So I want there to be quite a bit of distance in between. I'd say I want 16 inches, but I have to measure that out. I'm gonna measure from the baseboard since the bottom shelf can't go any further than the baseboard is. 39, either 39 or 40 inches. And then I need to subtract the width of the board. So how it's gonna sit is this will be the back rod. There will be 2 braces on each side, and then the shelf will sit on top. So I basically just need to measure the distance between this 1x2 and then the thickness of the wood. So this is 3/4 inch. 1x2 is not exactly 2 inches, it's 1.5. So that times 3, since I want 3 shelves, if I do 39 minus the 6 and 3/4 inches, it's 32 and 1/4 inches.
Won't let go, 'cause my bones can't keep taking this. And I think you should know just how long I've been faking this. These walls are caving in. I could use some saving. Hold me till I fall apart. Break me till I'm broken in. 'Cause I've been lost but never found. So I've been broken down. 6 feet underneath the frozen ground. But is it too late, too late to save me now? Staring out my window, waiting for the sun these things that preaching we wanna believe, but we don't know how.
Today is finally the day that we get to put all of the clothes back in the closet, style it up, and see it just, the vision come to life. I'm super excited because this has been a long process, longer than I anticipated, but I'm excited to see it through. So let's go ahead and start hanging everything up and just getting some organization ASMR. One of the first things I want to do is start organizing these shelves. So I went ahead and already put them in here and installed them. And this was really supposed to be storage for hoodies and hats. So that's what I'm going to do.
Counting all my problems, one by one they're falling down on me. One more day in Paris, paradise is not what it's made to be. No, just say you won't let go, 'cause my bones can't keep taking this.
I got 2 of these shelves, which are just like stackable shoe organizer shelves to use to put on this back wall right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these together and then organize the shoes.
Carry the net, I can use some saving. Hold me till I fall apart, break me till I'm broken in, 'cause I've been lost and never found.
So I have these containers, which I've gotten from Amazon. You can actually zip this side to see in it, or you can zip at the top. They're actually really helpful, and I use these to store like our seasonal clothing. So when it's winter time, we put all of like swimsuits and things in here and vice versa. So I'm also going to put these on the top shelf because he has extra space up there that we can use, and that way you know, since that is so high, it's not something that we have to reach for often, so it's okay that it's up there. We just get it as we change through seasons. This is a really great way to actually store away your clothes so that your closet is not oversaturated year round. You don't have to store all your clothes for all of the seasons all at once in your closet. You can kind of stow them away with these types of storage or under the bed storage, wherever you have space, so that you can kind of free up some space in your closet so it's not, again, oversaturated or, you know, overwhelming. And that way you can have more space in there and it's just like more functional and easier for you.
'Cause my bones.
If you set yourself on fire, I never let you burn. I would smoke you till my lungs hurt and love you till I'm dirt. Oh, I'm not sure where all this goes. What I do know is I'll never let you go. When my world is falling apart, you're always there.
Thank you guys so much for coming along in this closet journey. I'm so happy to have been able to transform this space and make it more organized and more functional, more effective, more useful. It has just been a process going through it, but I've learned so much along the way, and I'm so thankful to have been able to do this. Stay tuned for the next bedroom makeover episode that's coming on. We are going to be building our nightstands, and then the last episode will be us decorating the room, finally putting all those pieces together. So subscribe down below and hit that post notification if you want to be notified for those videos. But I will see you guys in next week's video. Bye.